I didn't have foundational pillars to set gates up around myself to understand where I wanted to be in business, who I wanted to be, who was Veronica in the building of this business.
Yes.
And I was a people pleaser. I'm an empath. I always want to be solutions oriented for somebody, having this all-knowing spirit. But in that, I lost sight of saying yes to everybody is not always saying yes to yourself.
Right on. So good.
Welcome to the Sold Out Sales Podcast, the podcast that will equip both the seasoned sales professional and the more reluctant seller with mindset shifts and strategies needed to succeed in a competitive marketplace.
Welcome to the Sold Out Sales Podcast. I am so excited. Every week I'm excited. I love hanging out with you guys, but today I'm excited because I have one of my friends, heroes, someone I get to see in the community all the time doing her thing. And I'm going to tell you all a story about why she's my hero in a little bit. Don't let me forget. But I want to introduce you to Veronica Bahn. Veronica, why don't you share a little bit about yourself and tell us something we're not going to know about you by looking at your bio?
Oh, that's great. That wasn't on the questionnaire.
I
know. Okay, a little bit about myself. I'm a native of Arizona.
Ah, I didn't even know that.
I've lived here 59 years. Yes, wow. I just shared my age.
Yeah, and gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is my fire horse year, so I'm really excited to be celebrating 60 in November. So there's a little bit about myself.
Yes.
You know, I have been in business for more than 38 years. Wow. Married for 37, worked with my husband for 17 years, and we did it beautifully.
That's amazing. Not everybody can do that.
And I have 3 adult children. In fact, today while we're recording is the celebration of my daughter's 35th.
Oh,
so
it's my grandson's birthday today also.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Look at us raising Capricorns, or at least having them in our lives, right?
Oh.
And I love empowering and helping women in growth and business and visibility and leadership. It's really important for me to help women find their voice and share it and tell their story and I think it gives other women permission slip to also show up in that space.
Yeah.
Something you don't know about me. I have 2 things I can share. Which one do I want to talk about?
Give me the juicy one.
I want the juicy one. I'm a former Miss Arizona.
Shut up. I did not know that. Okay, I got to go do some...
It was many years ago. I was 17, and I had just graduated from high school, and one of my counselors nominated me to apply.
Wow.
And my mom was going through colon cancer.
Oh, wow.
And she survived. She's been with us now 76 years. And I thought, oh, maybe this will help give my mom something to look forward to.
Wow.
So I'm going to just do it. What the heck? And then I won.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And then we went to Hawaii for the national pageant. And my whole family went, plus about 8 other family members. So it turned into this incredible vacation. And we were there for 2 weeks. And it was really powerful. It was, for me, a beginning of a journey of understanding when you step into a yes.
Wow.
I didn't know at 17, all these business acumens that come from something like that. But it really lit a fire within me to listen to the stories of these other young girls and watch how they're evolving into these new spaces. And it's fun to go back and look at what some of those young girls have done in their lives. I can find them on LinkedIn, connect. And I was going through an old memory box that my Nana had. And just this recently, I pulled out Christmas decorations. And there was the brochure. This is what brings us very top of mind of the pageant.
Wow.
And I'm looking through this book, and I started to look up some of these gals in LinkedIn. And I'm like, I'm going to connect with them.
That's amazing.
It was it's funny that you asked that, because this literally just happened over Christmas when I found that magazine, and I thought, I don't really talk about that very much.
Yeah, I could see you being even Miss America, for sure.
I don't have a talent.
You do. You absolutely do. So the thing that really, I guess, kind of draws me to you is there's an organization, and I'm sure you'll talk a little bit more about your eWomen journey as well, but I started with eWomen years and years and years ago. I mean, I think she'd probably only had it for less than 10 years for sure, maybe like 4 years when I first met. Sandra was a big eWomen proponent, and I loved the organization. And when I moved to Phoenix, I immediately joined. And lots of things happened with our management here for a long time. And
well, managing directors don't
they
stay
change,
forever.
right?
They're not
They
supposed
change.
to.
Exactly. And I think what happened is because we had such a strong managing director at the time, everybody was like, this is it. And then when things changed, it just shifted, right? As things do.
As things do.
But when I started hearing about, oh, you got to come back to eWomen, you got to come back to eWomen, you got to come back to eWomen, and people go, it's different now because Veronica is doing different. And I was just like, oh, I got to meet this Veronica Bahn. And that's kind of how I was first made aware of you, just that your leadership style, the way that you curate a room, the way that you bring people together and empower women and really show them how to show up for themselves. It's just been amazing to hear. And then, of course, you and I have gotten to connect in many other ways since I've heard of you, but it's just been an amazing thing to watch and to see an organization that's already powerful across the nation really shine in Arizona. It's fantastic. So for that, hats off to you, ma'am.
With my whole heart, thank you. I discovered eWomenNetwork in 2014. I had actually read an anthology book, and I was thirsty for women entrepreneurs that were making an impact in the world.
Right.
Because all of the sales tools and my advertising and marketing background, everything that I was reading were all by these amazing men.
Right.
You know, go back and read Dale Carnegie and Earl Nightingale and Dan Blanchard and Chicken Soup for the Soul and Jim Rohn and all these people who'd been talking. And I'm like, male voice, male. Even my mentors in one of the companies that I, and in my corporate world, everybody, they were all men around me. And I was thirsty for knowledge of watching women in this entrepreneurial space not feel like they're breaking the glass ceiling or competing against each other for visibility.
Right.
That's my space.
Yes.
But actually lifting others as they climb. And I was introduced to eWomenNetwork, and I actually, funny, I'm not sure Sandra wants me telling this story, but in 2014, so they've been around 25 years, I called the home office. I'm like, who's this Sandra Yancey? I'm reading stories in this anthology, and I'm like, I'm so inspired. I want to learn more. And nobody called me back. Nobody got back to me. Fast forward 3 days, and some of women that you and I know, and you could have been at that Success Summit, but I see pictures of some of my friends with Sandra at some event. And so I'm texting my friends saying, where are you?
Where's my invitation?
How do I go?
Yeah.
And that was from a couple days ago because, you know, people post later, not day up. And this is 2014.
I would have been here,
2014. So that goes away. Dang. Darn, on to the next, next. So my entrepreneurial journey began hiring a coach, doing all these things because I knew I needed to level up in a big way and I was ready to pay for speed. And I was making a shift.
Yes.
And sales has always been something that came very easy to me.
Yeah.
And it was more about crafting the right message and going into the right space. And what do I love to do?
Right.
Well, I go to an eWomenNetwork meeting I was invited to by a friend of ours. We both know Carrie Conley. And I walked in and still hadn't clued in, didn't know. But I said yes, because I think there's something to the power of yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And at the very end, it was an invitation to join the community. And there was a picture of Sandra Yancey. And it clicked. And I thought, my time is now. This is when for me. And I actually walked up to the current managing director and I said, I want to be you when I grow up. I grabbed her hand. I'm like, I love this. Please let me know if you're ever to retire. And I had no idea, process anything. And then fast forward 4 years later, 19, 20, 21, 22, maybe 2 years later, she reached out and said, I'm ready. And I wasn't.
Oh. Wow.
I wasn't ready. And I had just actually hired Sandra as a business coach.
Wow. Okay.
And I thought, how am I going to do all these things? Rebrand a business, really focus in this coaching because it was a high level program.
Yeah.
And I asked Sandra, can I do both? And she said, I think you can if you have all of these things, systems, processes, people in place, all the things.
Yes.
And I said, okay, but it can't be till March. Well, the gal was ready in December.
Oh.
And I said, well, if you want me, you got to wait. And it was honestly the first time, Tish, that I stepped into my power.
Wow.
And didn't jump through somebody else's hoops.
That's it right there. My goodness.
If you're someone who hates to network because you don't always know what to say, I get you. I'm an introvert too, and I've created a free gift for you. It's my Networking and Sales Handbook just for introverts, and it is at tishtimes.com. It'll be the first pop-up you'll see. Grab it. Let me know what you think about it. It's free. Go grab it right now.
You said so many things in that little blurb that I want to kind of revisit. The first thing you said is you learned or you knew how to pay for speed. Say more about that. Because sometimes people don't realize that they're saying no to something thinking they can do it themselves or what's working for them. You know, what they're doing is working, not realizing that they can get so much further ahead if they're willing to make an investment in something. Can you say more about that?
I would love to touch on that because I think it's a valuable moment.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are willing to invest in yourself at a level to get you to 10x where you want to be, or in the power of proximity into a room or a group or somebody who's going to take you where you want to go.
Right.
Not somebody who's just the next level above where you are,
right,
but really where you want to go in your business.
Yeah.
There's an investment to be made there. And you're either going to make it in time or you're going to make that investment in money. So let that mic drop for a minute.
Girl, yes. You're going to pay for it no matter what.
You're paying for it no matter what.
That is so good. And I think we miss that. I say collectively, the collective, we miss that. And we pay for it in time more than anything else.
And I think it's because there's this word out there called solopreneur.
Yes.
And women believe they have to do it on their own.
Right.
Men go places farther because they ask very quickly, they see something and they react fast.
Right.
Every time I'm with a woman who takes quick action, says yes, and then maybe has buyer's remorse later, but trusts the initial instinct of the yes, I watch them go further faster.
Always, yeah.
And I looked at where my life was in this business journey that I had been on. And at that time, I was 55, and I thought, my runway's getting a little bit shorter, and I've put in all these years of expertise. I've done all this work. I have all these things in place. But I knew I wanted a high-level coach to take me further, faster. And in 9 months, I about 10x in 9 months from where I was to where I ended up that year.
I believe it.
And I could, because I had the pieces in place, I didn't know. There were many blind spots that I didn't see.
Right.
And so that initial investment has continually more than made up for itself over and over and over and over again. And then I was able to then make another investment in another. And so now I'm in the process of putting all that together. One of the things that I also discovered in the space that we're in is so many women have to tap into their own resources.
So true.
You know, they do. And they try to get an SBA loan, or maybe they don't even know how to do that. Or they're throwing a bunch of things on the credit card, or they're cashing in a 401k, or they're using a severance because they've come out of corporate to start a business because they know their solution. They have a solution and an expertise. And they have proof of concept, but they don't know how to move themselves forward.
They don't. They need the help.
And they need the help.
Yeah.
And I am in the process of pulling together a 501(c) right now to help women entrepreneurs and grant them money to get them started.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Because of my own personal journey that I've gone through.
Yeah, we've done it. I think many of us did the hard way because we didn't know there was a faster way at that time. But now women don't have to do that anymore. They absolutely don't.
And, you know, I appreciate my marriage of 37 years. My husband is super supportive. But when I went to the bank to get my own line of credit, I couldn't qualify.
Yeah.
And the other reason why I couldn't qualify, it's because I put so much in his name
Mm-hmm.
under that main business umbrella.
Yeah.
I hadn't been building things, even though I'd been growing my own business
Mm-hmm.
and scaling and doing all the things. And it wasn't until I had that high level coach experience that they
Love
said, you haven't put some other things in place for your own personal success.
Yeah.
And now I have to bat them off like flies. Nope, don't
Yeah.
need your loan. No,
I know,
sorry.
right?
You know,
Thank
what
you,
a
no,
great
thank you.
position to finally be in,
I
right?
know.
So, but it also helped me really understand that there are programs out there, and I want to be one of them, that helps not just
That's it.
resource women in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
but make an impact globally.
I love it. That's fantastic. Something else you said is you realized you didn't have to jump through other people's hoops.
Oh, you picked up on that.
Yes. And I think from a sales perspective, that's such a valuable way of being, because many times they'll bend on their values, they'll bend on their standard, they'll shift their process, in an effort to make a sale, instead of recognizing that they have the solution that that person needs, and they actually don't have to jump through a hoop to get the right client to say yes. So talk to me about how you went from maybe thinking you had to knowing that you don't have to jump through someone else's hoop.
When I trusted that every time I had made a decision that wasn't from my heart space, it was from my ego, my mind saying, I got to go do this.
Yes.
Because I didn't have foundational pillars to set gates up around myself to understand where I wanted to be in business, who I wanted to be, who was Veronica in the building of this business,
Yes.
and what are my values, and what are the core words around how I always want to show up. And I was a people pleaser. I'm an empath. I always want to be solutions oriented for somebody, having this all-knowing spirit. But in that, I lost sight of saying yes to everybody is not always saying yes to yourself.
Right on. So good. Yes.
And once I discovered what that looked like for me and understood what those gates looked like, I knew that I didn't have to move because somebody else said it was time.
Yes.
I could watch my plan, because you and I work with a lot of women entrepreneurs.
Right.
And how many times have we seen, I know I've seen them shift
yeah.
before they allow the runway to develop.
Yes.
So they can take their moonshot, whatever that looks like.
Yes.
And they shorten it, and they change course, and they move the runway, and you're sitting there going,
Give it time to
let's
work.
give time to work.
Yeah.
And I wanted to model that.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's so good. So good. What do you think, Veronica, makes a great salesperson, or a person who is really good at helping someone to get to the solution that they need without feeling salesy?
So I once had a mentor tell me, and this is beautiful. It was beautiful. It was probably 2010. I was gifted with the natural ability to talk about something I love, knowing how it can help somebody else.
Absolutely.
And I always felt like I had a solution. Not everybody is gifted with that confidence.
True.
They believe in their concept.
Right.
They love what they know, but they don't know how it translates from here to here
So true.
to the invoice.
Yes, exactly.
They don't know how to close the sale.
Yeah.
They don't understand that. And what I learned, and this is what I used to teach a team of people who were learning how to sell, pretend you have a $20 bill in your back pocket. What would that look like if you had a $20 bill in your back pocket, and at the end of this conversation, your only job was to make sure they had it in theirs?
Wow. That's, I love that.
And that visual of, I'm here to make sure you're feeling lifted, valued, seen, heard, and I think that so many businesses fail because they're worried about even publicly held companies.
Yeah.
They're worried about the dollar signs and the zeros in the bank.
Yeah.
And when you come from a place of fear, not faith,
Yes.
you become very transactional.
So true. So true. Wow.
And so that was always a really good visual for me. And I share that, and it makes people go, oh,
Yeah,
That takes a little bit of pressure off.
it sure does.
And then the idea, this was a really good visual too. Don't be the puppy dog, be the cat.
Say more about that.
For those of you who have cats and dogs, you know this story. You leave for the day and you come back and your puppy is excited to see you.
Yes.
And what is it doing?
It's like all over you, jumping up all over the place.
You're a cat owner and you walk in. You haven't seen your cat all day.
And they're like, hey.
And it comes by and it might brush your leg. And then it walks away. And you're like, wait, I want more.
Yeah.
How do you want to show up in a conversation with somebody who's looking to purchase your product or service?
Good gracious. Okay. Look, if you don't have a pen and a piece of paper already, you need to grab one because number one, be the cat, not the puppy dog, and come from a place of faith, not fear, because faith decisions change everything. I love that. Fear decisions will always make us run ahead of ourselves and jump out of our processes and do whatever we can to make a dollar instead of help someone to get a solution. So I'm giving you a formal invitation right now to come back for part 2 because our time goes so fast. And
What? We're done?
I know,
Oh my gosh.
it goes so fast. And I need for our audience to know more about you. I need for them to hear more from you. So we'll definitely schedule part 2. Before we wrap up, can you just tell our audience a little bit more about what you do for your own business and how you really help people to be more visible?
Veronica Bahn Consultancy and Be Visible with Veronica podcast was born out of helping women entrepreneurs that have been in this space for 3+ years, needing to now be the face of their business, but they don't know what that looks like. Recently, I had a client say, I'm afraid to show up because I was told that's vanity. I have all this success. I've hit my 7 figures, but if I go out there and talk about it, I'm being vain.
Wow.
And I think women, I know from personal conversations and experiences, we want to be humble in our presence, but yet we need to be the loudest cheerleaders for what it is we're doing, the transformation we're making. So my consultancy really helps to assist the conversation in a woman founder and CEO to stand up, to lead their organization from the front and not be in it, to be powerful in their voice and have the confidence to do it, and really strategize what that looks like with them on a one-on-one conversation. And, visibility is not vanity, it's vital.
It absolutely is, for sure. So say that website one more time so people know how to reach you.
VeronicaBahn.com. It's B like boy, AHN. And you can also go to my visibilityquiz.com and see what your visibility is saying about you out there in the world. And you can find a way to level that up and make it better.
Perfect. We'll make sure we have all of that in the show notes. I definitely need more time. We'll come back again later in the year and continue this conversation. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're so welcome. And may I say, we didn't plan this branding. Look at us, right? Oh my God, it's great. I love it.
Oh my God.
You're a dream. Thank you for inviting me on and sharing your light with the world and really teaching women how to sell better and show up better so that their impact can be a global legacy.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. Can't wait to see you back here next week. Make sure that you go back and listen and glean all of the gems that Veronica gave us today. Put something into practice that you've learned today. We'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Sold Out Sales podcast. I would be so appreciative if you would show me and my amazing guests some love by leaving a review on your favorite podcasting platform. Also, go over to tishtimes.com/resource page and make sure you pick up your sales and networking handbook, especially for introverts. Also, I would love to continue this conversation, so make sure you connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I'll see you back here next week.